I'm Ali from Ali Art Designs. Thank you for joining my channel. If you're new to my channel, welcome. I hope you enjoy what you see, and for those who have seen some of my videos already, I hope you enjoy this one too. So I am developing as an artist and looking at different techniques. I don't want to be one-dimensional, but you know, I really love the Rinskadowner Novi Lim brushwork that they use, and just creating those beautiful strokes. So I'm really practicing that, and I have been practicing it for a little while now, but I thought I'd take you on the journey on how I make my decisions and how that process looks from my end. So I hope you enjoyed. I do like the piece that I did today, and I hope you like it as well. So let's get messy and paint. So I'm just wetting my canvas, just dipping the brush into some water, and or you could spray it and then brush over it. So the colours I'm using, they're really just leftover paint. So these are paints that I would use for a Dutch pour, and because they're quite runny, so I can use them for this sort of thing. Well, I have anyway. Some people I've seen, it's a lot more runnier than what I'm using, and I have tried that, but I think I just found the consistency to be too runny. Maybe that's just part of me working on that. Yep, just keep on experimenting, see what comes up. That's the fun part about experimenting. I mean, you can develop your own technique. You can see something and it gives you the ideas to go forward. There's no point in doing everything exactly the same as someone. So far, my style of this brushwork is you know, it's my style, and I know others can be similar, but it's what I sort of find myself doing quite naturally. But I'll still develop it and move forward on it. Try new things. It's all part of the process. So I'm really just trying to create a really nice blend of the gradient of this colour going into the apricot colour. I do like these two colours together. I think they're very pretty. So I'm just using the catalyst wedge. Sometimes it's nice to have that kind of, what would you call it, like a textured sort of look in the background. Catalyst wedge does look a lot better on a darker surface because you've got a white canvas underneath, so it doesn't really show the lines as well as you'd like it to, but it still, you can see some of it coming through at the end result, just enough to create a little bit of difference. It's also a really fun tool to use. If you haven't used it, it is so much fun to create different shapes with it, and I really do like the look. So this colour is also leftover paint, same consistency as a Dutch pour. And yeah, just again, this is like another layer on your canvas. It's not the final layer. I think sometimes when we look at a picture and you see the final result, you want to get to the last layer first, but you can't. You've got to actually work through the layers. So I did wait for my background to be relatively dry, so that I'm not smudging that colour into this colour. I've seen, you know, sometimes people keep it all wet right through the whole process, and that can be quite nice too. It really depends on what you want to do, but you know, you've got to be careful not to muddy the whole colours in. So the wedge, not the wedge, the paddle brush that I'm using here is a 4-inch paddle brush. Now I put this bluish, grey, purpley colour over my leaves. I didn't like it to start with, but when I sort of put it as a separate layer and then put the purple over the top, it just came through a little bit, and I actually really liked how it just gave it a few, like through the strokes, it just gave it a little bit of, I don't know, the lines came up with a little bit of a different colour. So I'm just adding a few more brush strokes in between those empty parts. I did sort of feel that because there was such a contrast colour in the background that I felt like I needed to fill the negative space there. Maybe it's not always necessary, but to me I just felt like it was a bit naked. So putting another layer on, that layer is dry. It doesn't take long to dry because of how thin the paint is. So much fun to do though. If you haven't tried this technique, it's very therapeutic. It's just beautiful to do. Even just playing around with brush strokes, so much fun. So I've been having trouble with that one leaf, wanting to get a bit more contrast of where it turned. I mean, the thing is with this, if you're not happy with your stroke, try it again. I mean, look, yeah, you could make it worse, but you could still go over it until you're happy with it. So I tried using some of the background colour into the front. I didn't really like it, but again, you know, it's all experimental and you've got to see what works and what doesn't. So I do go over that. No, didn't like it. And again, it's don't like what you're doing, go over it. You can. Finally happy with that one. As you can see where I've turned it, it actually has a nice contrast and it makes it a bit more obvious. So I'm just practicing a little bit of a stroke that I wanted to do, and it is a little bit of a backwards stroke, so you go forward and flip it back, and I really like how that looks. But I really liked it. But again, trying to get my background to be a little bit, I don't know, stand out a bit more. One more final touch up. And that's just about it. We'll wait for it to dry. So here is this picture. It's dry and I've added some embellishment to it. I've used gold paint and just created some leaves. Now I have done some since this one where I've used a gold acrylic marker, and it does work out better with the marker, but you know, you've got to try things to see what works and what doesn't work. So have a look. I just love these little brush strokes, that just the backward ones. They just come out so soft, and I think they just really add to the picture. I think looking at it, I probably would have liked to have put more into the background. It looks like it's standing on its own a little bit, but I don't know, maybe, you know, artwork is subjective. So give me your thoughts. Do you think I should have added some extra to the background, or do you think it's just okay with the way it is? I'd be happy to hear from you. Okay, thank you for watching. Bye for now.